This is a good one. Listen. Okay. So what to do when clients don't shout you out? First of all, you cannot grab your client by the throat and say, hey, shout me out, or I'm going to say that I did all your work. And also, you don't want to be in all of their comments on social media saying work by and then putting your name. So let me give you something to help give you some perspective that's a little bit different in this situation. What to do when your clients don't shout you out. Congratulations to you for having clients, and also congrats for doing something that's worthy of recognition. That goes to show that whatever you're applying, whatever you're teaching, whatever you're coaching people on is working. So that's applaudable. So shout out to you for that first and foremost. Let me tell you a story. There was a man that did some yard work for a woman. Now, when he did this yard work for her, he went and looked at some of her plants that had already been planted, had been there for a while, that the woman had been taking care of, and he decided to cut the plant. Okay, so he saw this rose bush, he cut the rose bush, he pruned it. He was pruning it so it could grow better, but he was pruning it out of season. You know, he wasn't really supposed to cut it back at the moment he did. And when he cut it way too low, like way too low. I mean, this plant looked like it was not going to be able to flower, to produce, and to bloom. A few months later, that plant, that rose, started to bloom miraculously. It started to bloom. It started to produce. It started to do what we do instinctively, which is survive and produce. It started doing that, and it's beautiful. So the man saw it and he was like, oh, okay, sigh of relief. I did good. Then as he saw more of the roses beginning to bud and bloom and it flowering and it looking so beautiful and green and lush, he started to get a little bit arrogant. Like, I did that. Yeah, call on me. I did the work. I'm good. You know, I got this. And that brings me back to my point. What to do when your client doesn't shout you out. You don't want to become like the man in my story. You don't want to become puffed up and cocky and arrogant, because at the end of the day, the work that you're doing for them is small in comparison to the work that they've been doing for themselves for years. They started with the idea. They put the seed in the ground. They've been cultivating it. They've been watering it. They've been developing it. They've been pouring money into it. They called you in to come and help, and you did that. So at the end of the day, like, that's your client's baby. And if they decide to shout you out or not, it's not on you. They've been doing the greater work. Now, that's not to say that your client shouldn't recognize you and shouldn't shout you out. So maybe instead of trying to get them to do it on social media, you can ask them for a letter of recognition, and you can put that on your website as a testimonial. So try that. Does this help you? I hope it does. Okay, I'm out of here. I'm Lola with the Smoking Prophet. Until next time, have the most amazing life. Bye!
Spiritually, creatively, socially. Spiritually, creatively, socially. Do life, do it better, do it better. Do life, do it better, do it better. The Smoking Prophet will inspire and equip you. The Smoking Prophet takes your skills and gifts and mold you.